Hello, good morning. Good morning from a foggy Dreek in Scotland. It is Wednesday and Patch is wandering around doing his thing. I'll say hello as well. Hello. So much to share. So, a few updates. First of all, yesterday was my last day at rental slot day at Naked Revive. So I'll now be doing sessions from home and ad hoc bookings at Naked Revive. So you just book a session as normal on my website, and then I go away and secure the room. And if it's not available for some reason, I'll offer an alternative date, a slot at my home in Dunbar, or a refund. So these are exciting times. It was sad to say goodbye to that phase, but at the same time I got to live some of the benefits in the same day. So I just did the morning at Naked Revive, and my daughter and wife were, my daughter's home, and then my wife was off work yesterday. So we sat and watched TV on and off for hours. I had about 4 naps, which is really good because I woke up with a migraine yesterday, and feels so much like the energy of the sun at this time. That was Graham. Hello to Graham if you ever watch my videos. He's an amazing photographer. So there was also just some healing from that, and he's trying to trip me up. There was also the membership group, which I did last night. Membership group last night. Feeling a bit discombobulated. But the membership group session, the Divine Spark memberships group session, was just really beautiful. Out of all the options, I think it's about 8 or so options that I suggested as topics. Everything from remote viewing this one of the planets that we think we've discovered life upon, and then also the one that they chose was healing hearts around the world, those that consent to receive it. And it was so beautiful and powerful. Really, it just blows my mind and my heart how much each of us individually, and also when we come together, can help others around the world. And we were healing different areas of the world that showed up for us in our session that had the greatest need. And then and some of these wouldn't surprise you, some would. One area that surprised me, and it was also suggested to one of the other members, was London, England. And it's not that it's in the news, right, which is also really fascinating. There's just a high concentration of people living in fear, people really struggling, and a lot of it suppressed and hidden from public view. And that was the theme across the world, was that what we are aware of in our news, mainstream news, social media, although I quite like the term legacy mainstream news, is that this was just, it's just the tip of the iceberg. So much is underreported, so much is not shown. And now you're going to get to watch a tree for a moment as Patch leaves me a little present on the ground. So that was really lovely to do that session yesterday. And I did try yesterday and make two videos, one when I was driving to Naked Revive and one when I was driving back. But it was really difficult to do because I think my mic was playing up. Come on then, Patch. And so that meant that the recording didn't work. So you were asking, my members were asking me about spirit guides, and also trainees from the foundational training, which is in week 7, and it's just about to finish next week in week 8. And some of the questions about spirit guides, so let me give this a go. First of all, spirit guides, who are they, and how do we choose them, or vice versa? And the first insights I can share is that, first of all, they can be any being of any vibration from around the world. I would say that if your mission in this life is to help raise your vibrations, and you're on a trajectory, your soul and yourself have chosen that upward trajectory, then likely your spirit guides will be a representation of that. They'll be your vibration and higher. And then you might get one or two that are lower vibration to help you, connect with the lower aspects of yourself. That does seem to be a theme as well, that your spirit guides are like a representation of the different aspects of you across your whole frequency range. They're chosen in the lead up to your incarnation. So before you're born in this life, your soul would have spent some time attracting in, selecting, talking to, and working with different beings. And these can be beings from across different lifetimes. They can have had any relationship with you. So that includes, fathers, mothers, daughters, brothers, sisters, friends, acquaintances, bosses, gurus, angels, like the list just goes on and on. There's no limit. And I do feel that there's like a frequency match. So it feels like on that journey, you're able to match in with the beings that would be able to support you on your mission. So, and that selection process works whereby your soul is always seeking growth. Oh, there's a squirrel. Can we see the squirrel? Squirrel! There's a squirrel. Your soul is always seeking growth. And, I mean, not every soul, right? But this is a common theme for us. Different ways to grow. And what happens is the mission that you receive in a specific lifetime to help, or choice of different lifetimes or timelines that your soul can choose. Come on, Patch. So let's say, in my case, my mission is to help raise vibrations of billions of hearts, to support people on their awakening journeys, to help balance darks and lights across the world. That would have been a discussion with my soul and the potential spirit guides, and then the kind of natural frequency matching and selection happens, and choices are made, and then I'm born, right? My soul enters the incarnation of John as an embryo, and grows up to be a big old 48-year-old. Also, that we have around 8 active guides, and then there's around, any number that are kind of in the background that are around us, supporting from the bench, right? So they can be called upon by any of our spirit team, and they may well have other jobs to do, right? They may well be doing other things. Okay, so yeah, your spirit guides can be any being from anywhere across the universe, across any space and time. You may or may not have shared a past life with them, or been in a past life where they've been like, you know, a guru or an angel, or, for example, some people work with archangels in a previous life, and then it's a pattern they repeat in other lifetimes too. Okay, Petch, we can go back now. Come on, Petch. Come on, Petch. This way, buddy. Come on. So another question was, can spirit guides be doing other things? You know, can they be physically incarnated at the same time as being a guide for you? The answer is yes. I don't know that that's mutually exclusive, like that that's true for every single guide, right? Maybe they don't all have the same capability to be able to do that. Certainly feel my guides, I haven't asked all of them, but my feeling is that most of the active 8 have a physical incarnation as well, which would be so cool to meet them, right? And another way of thinking about this foundational principle is that we have one soul, and then our single soul has multiple incarnations, often around 8, but it can be more. And I see the soul as this, like the center of a wheel, like a bicycle wheel, and then there are spokes that run out to each of the incarnations that are on the tire, the outside of the wheel. And what happens is the connection between the soul and each incarnation is a soul star chakra, and into the crown chakra of each incarnation. So there's a higher self. Basically, the way the order works is center of the wheel, soul. Next step is the higher self, through the soul star chakra, often about 1.5 meters to 2 meters above our crowns, and then from there into our crown, which is where our incarnation exists, our single incarnation. I say single incarnation, you know, our sovereign incarnation. You asked other questions. Oh, can we be spirit guides? Yes, we can. There's no limits. I feel that lightly, you know, just like our own experiences, we also have to, like with our own guides, we'd also have to like go through the same selection process. Morning. And in that selection process, you know, we would offer our services just like a guide would offer their services to us. So that's one way that it could happen. Could we be doing it? Could we be a guide for someone else right now? Yes, but I feel it's likely that it's your soul. It's another way of thinking about this is that your soul is a guide for someone else, because your soul is definitely capable of multiple incarnations, past, parallel, present, and future at once. And you know, some of that kind of resource or consciousness, effort and energy could be dedicated to being a guide for another being. You might be asking yourself, can multiple people have the same soul? So in other words, like, could you and maybe someone else you meet in this lifetime have the same soul? Yes, it is possible. Our souls are capable of supporting multiple incarnations at once. However, I feel it's really rare. And I don't know that every soul has the capability to do it. It may be more a superpower. My feeling for me is that I don't have another soul, another incarnation in this timeline, in this lifetime. I've met my doppelganger, someone that looks almost identical to me, but we're very different people. And I think that's also hard to discern, is that it's sometimes hard to get our heads around, is that our individual incarnations have really quite different personalities, but often very strong themes that run through each life. And these themes are often the patterns of behavior that our soul wants to learn through and grow from. But also, it's often similar, like passions and joy and love. So yeah, I hope this helps answer some questions. Please do feel free to add more questions in the comments, and I'll try and remember them as I walk with Patch. I'm off now to mainly a relaxing morning. I'll be watching some TV, sitting with Patch, and catching up on a couple of emails, and thinking about the scheduling of my higher self training courses. And then, hello, Mr. Crow. I'm trying to talk to them. Patch, how do we talk to crows? He's thinking, what is that human doing? So yeah, and then also a guy's coming to replace the starter battery for our camper van, which is great. And tomorrow I take it off to the garage on an epic adventure. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I don't know what I just stood in, but it was it was wet. Sending love from Scotland. Take care. Love you.